Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today would be basically describing or talking about hashing. So hashing is quite easy, and the questions that come from hashing in your exams are really easy to answer and get good marks from it. So today would be talking about different hashing techniques and different methods and the basic concepts of hashing. So this is the hashing function, which is hx equals to x, and these are the values that we would be working on, and this is the array that we'd be putting these values into. Now the value of 2, we are going to put that in the array index, which is 2, which we already did, and for 7 we put the value of 7 into index 7. So this is how they are put into each one of them. So 8 is put into the index 8. However, the problem here is we don't have any values for 12 in this array, because the array is from 0 to 8 and we don't have any values for 0 to 8 from 12, sorry. So the problem here is we have to have a bigger array for numbers that are much bigger than the length, which is not efficient, because space is limited in our case, and we need to be more efficient. So we need to house values that are much greater than 8. So what do we do here now? So this is the hashing function modified version. So hx equals to x%, that will be size. So these are the values that we have to put into the array, and the length of the array is basically up to 8, so 0 to 9, meaning the length of the array is 9. So 2 mod 9 would give us 2, so we put into 2. For 7 we put into 7, 8 into 8. However, 12, so 12 mod 9 would give us 3, so we put the value of 12 into index 3. And similarly for 1, 5 and 6 would put into corresponding places. However, let's say we have a value 10, so 10 mod 9 would give us 1. However, 1 is already occupied by another value. So what do we do now? So we need to have a different way to put the value of 10 into index, so that it can be easily found out whenever we are searching for that corresponding value. So to solve that, we have different methods. So these are the methods basically, and in this, so there are two methods, open hashing and closed hashing. So in open hashing we have chaining, and in closed hashing we have linear probing, and another one which is quadratic probing. So now we are going to look into chaining here. So in chaining, the equation is similar to what we are used to. So hx x mod size, and the size here is 10 from 0 to 9. So for each case we are going to do put the values into the equation here and look into which indexes it goes into. So 8 mod 10, which would give us 8, so we put 8. However, as this is chaining, we are going to put the address of the chain into these indexes. So rather than putting the value of, let's say, 3 to whatever it comes, we're going to put an address. So we're going to put a sign here basically, so the sign and the value, then if there's another sign or not. So for 3, so 3 mod 10 would be 3, so we put the address, which is this one, so the address of the chain and the value of the chain, so 3. For 12, so 12 mod 10 which give us 2, so 2. So 13 mod 10 would give us 3, so we put 13 after 3. So this is where the concept of chaining comes from. So we put 13 after 3, so thus a chain. So we are chaining each value to another value. So if we had 23 here, so 23 mod 10 would give us 3, so we put 23 here. Now we are going to talk about linear probing. So linear probing, the equation of linear probing is a bit different from chaining. Here this is the equation, and this still has the value of hx, which is the same that we worked with before. However, we have fi, where fi is the value basically of the indexes, so it goes from 0 up till 9 for this case that we have, and size is basically 10. For always remember, this is the case and the values they change based on the situation. So for 8 we do 8% 10 plus, as I said, if I always starts from the 0th index, so 0% size, which is 10, which gives us 2, which gives us 8, and we're going to put 8 at 8, and similarly for 3, which would be 3. However, for 12 we would have 10, and this is the same as before because we are not going over 0, so we would have 2, so 12 goes into this position, and 13, so 13 would be a different case here because 13 mod 10 plus 0, we have 3, but 3 is already occupied, so we increase fi by 1, so 13 mod 10 plus 1, which gives mod 10, which gives us 4, so 4 is not occupied, so we can put 13 at this position. And for the other cases, so 6 would go here, 7 here, and 11 would go here. So let's say we have another value which is 23, so where do we put 23? So 23 would basically go into this position because 23 mod 10 would, and plus 0, that would be mod into 10, would give us 3, but 3 is already occupied, so we look into the next one, so plus 1 here, which would give us 4 that we already calculated, so 4 is also occupied, so no here, and we have one more, so which would give us 5, so 5 is not occupied, so we're going to put 23 at the position of 5. So this is linear probing. Now we are going to look into quadratic probing. So in quadratic probing, the equation is similar to the linear probing that we talked about. However, in this case, if I becomes I square rather than I. So for 8, we do the same thing, the same equation that we already talked about. So 8% 10 plus 0 square, which would be modded by 10 for the size, which would give us 8 again. So we put 8. Similarly for 3, we would go to 3. So for 12, we also would have the same value, which would give us 2. So we're going to put 12 here. So for 13 mod 10 plus 0 mod 10, which give us 3, but 3 is already occupied, right? So 13 mod 10 plus 1, we increase it by 1 square, percent 10, so 1 square is 1 basically, so this will give us 4, so we put 13 here. Now let's look for 23, because 23 is a bit different. So for 23 mod 10 plus 0, which would give us this is here, which would give us 3. Nothing we can do because it's already occupied, so we increase it by 1 square, percent, and blah blah blah, blah, blah here, which would give us 4. So 4 is already occupied. So now 23 mod 10 plus 2 square, percent 10, which would give us, this gives us 3, gives us 4, so 4 mod 10, 3 plus 4 mod 10 gives us 7, so this gives us 7, so we're going to put 23 at the position of 7. So this is how the whole hashing process works, and in the exam you would be told to follow any of these methods, and if not, you can just follow any one of these if you like prefer any one of them to be much more easier than others. Hope you guys did understand the concepts of hashing, and I could help at least a little bit. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to comment down below. Thank you.